Nano Banana prompts. Number 1.
A cinematic wide shot of a surrealist cityscape where architecture and biology are indistinguishable. 4.3 aspect ratio, towering structures composed of colossal, bleached rib cages and spiraling pearlescent nautilus shells emerge from the forest floor, seamlessly grafted onto the trunks of gargantuan ancient trees. The buildings feature flowing, parabolic arches and skeletal buttresses reminiscent of deep-sea corals and vertebrate anatomy, avoiding all straight lines or industrial materials. Soft, volumetric morning sunlight filters through a misty canopy, casting long, dramatic shadows and illuminating the iridescent sheen of wet calcium and emerald moss. The atmosphere is serene and prehistoric, with veined, translucent membranes stretching across window-like apertures. Every surface is rich with hyper-realistic texture, the porous grain of weathered bone, the rough, damp bark of a living timber, and the polished, shimmering smoothness of mother-of-pearl mosaics. The composition emphasizes the majestic verticality of these living skyscrapers against a backdrop of a dense, primeval jungle, captured with the clarity of a high-end lens to highlight the harmonious fusion of organic growth and intricate construction. A breathtaking, cinematic wide shot of a sprawling metropolis where architecture is grown, not built. Massive ivory-hued structures rise like calcified ribs and nautilus shells, fused with the gnarled, titanic trunks of bioluminescent trees. The buildings exhibit the fluid, rhythmic curves of skeletal anatomy and coral reefs, featuring intricate filigree reminiscent of ossified lace and rhythmic, undulating surfaces. The atmosphere is thick with a golden, hazy light that filters through translucent, chitinous membranes, casting dramatic God rays across the porous, moss-covered facades. The color palette is a sophisticated blend of bleached bone, iridescent pearl, and deep forest umber, punctuated by the vibrant teal of hanging flora. Every surface is rich with organic texture, from the fibrous grain of the structural wood to the smooth, polished sheen of the shell-like balconies. The 4-3 composition captures the immense scale of this biocity, blurring the boundary between a living forest and a futuristic civilization, rendered with hyper-realistic detail and a sense of ancient, ethereal mystery.
A cinematic wide-angle photograph captured with a large-format press camera, revealing a monumental cityscape where architecture and biology fuse into a singular entity. In the foreground, winding walkways made of polished, translucent chitin and ancient petrified wood led the eye toward a horizon of towering structures. These buildings are not constructed of steel, but grown from massive, interlocking ossified vertebrae and spiraling calcareous shells that reach toward a misty sky. The surfaces are hyper-detailed, featuring the delicate, radial symmetry of marine microorganisms and the gnarled, moss-covered bark of thousand-year-old trees, with undulating ribbed vaults and rhythmic, skeletal buttresses. The lighting is the soft, ethereal glow of a damp dawn, with diffused sunbeams piercing through a thick, atmospheric fog, highlighting the pearlescent sheen of the bone-white walls and the deep, verdant greens of overhanging fungal canopies. The mood is one of quiet, ancient majesty, blurring the line between a living forest and a skeletal metropolis. The 4-3 composition emphasizes the verticality of the ribbed spires and the sprawling complexity of the organic foundations, rendered with the sharp, tactile clarity and rich tonal range of professional large-format film, a cinematic 35mm movie still of a sprawling cityscape, where architecture is indistinguishable from biology. Captured in a wide 4-3 composition, towering structures are composed of massive, bleached skeletal arches resembling prehistoric rib cages, intertwined with spiraling calcified nautilus shell spires and living, pulsating arboreal trunks that serve as load-bearing pillars. The textures are a tactile mix of porous bone, iridescent chitin and weathered bark, with translucent membranes stretching between ribs like stained glass. Volumetric God rays filter through a hazy, amber-tinted atmosphere, catching on drifting spores and highlighting the pearlescent sheen of the organic walls. The lighting is dramatic and atmospheric, featuring deep velvety shadows and soft, internal bioluminescent glows that pulse like a heartbeat. The scene reflects the fluid, sweeping curves of neo-futurism merged with the intricate, symmetrical biological patterns of Ernst Haeckel's illustrations. Earthy ochres, bone white, and deep mossy greens dominate the color palette, accented by subtle shifting iridescent highlights. High-fidelity detail, subtle film grain, and a sense of ancient silent majesty.
A sprawling biomechanical megalopolis where architecture is grown rather than built, featuring towering skyscrapers constructed from massive, polished ivory ribcages and iridescent, spiraling obsidian shells that pulse with internal bioluminescence. Enormous ancient trees with translucent, glowing bark serve as structural pillars, their roots interwoven with neon-lit fiber optic cables. The atmosphere is a thick, synthwave haze of electric violet and deep indigo, illuminated by the retro glow of a low-hanging digital sun. The visual style incorporates the intricate, dark organic ribbing of biomechanical surrealism blended with the sleek, aerodynamic futurism of industrial concept art. Lighting is dominated by high contrast, magenta and cyan rim lights, casting long, dramatic shadows across wet, reflective surfaces that mirror the vibrant city lights. A low angle for 2:3 cinematic composition emphasizes the immense scale of these living monuments reaching toward a starless, hazy sky. Every surface is a fusion of chitinous plates, sinewy tendons, and glowing circuitry, creating a transcendental landscape where nature and cybernetic construction are indistinguishable.